Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Ancient Legends Challenge. In the last episode, our Ancient Legends embarked on a brand new adventure that brought them to the Grassminkle. That's this incredibly diverse island, filled with all sorts of biomes. I mean, I'm pretty sure that our tribe has never even explored most of these. They have been off of the mountain islands before, so I'm sure they've seen the grasslands, maybe even a little bit of savanna. But the jungles are a brand new challenge. I'm not sure if we're going to go in that direction. In fact, there's always the possibility that an ape could spawn over here. Oh, wouldn't that make an interesting challenge though? I know one of you did suggest that maybe we could try to take an ape down. And I mean, our creatures are probably strong enough to do the job. If anybody could, I'm sure it would be Belle. She has to have her baby though. And thank goodness it looks like somebody set out a wonderful permanent nest right next to the ports. Maybe that's even a little gift from Melody? It's right next to the savanna tiles too, so technically it's closer to Melody than we've ever been before. In case you guys don't know who Melody is in our lore, she was one of the creatures that we had on the burning savanna. She technically had the water body, but it was pretty much useless there because we didn't have an ocean for her to swim. She was ousted by her tribe mates when they assumed she was starting the fires. So now that our families have finally come together again, I feel like she might finally be appeased. Maybe today is the day that we're finally going to see the heat body on one of our babies. There's still a chance with Belle's. So I think we're going to have our daughter Ivory come over next to her too. She could probably act as her little guard. We'll have her clear out some of the grass in the area and just basically make sure that no danger comes out to harm her. We'll have to find a space for Hydra to build a nest too. And honestly, I feel like it should probably be right next to the royal nest. Maybe we could bring her over to this tree. I mean, she does have the cracker jaws, so she could pick up food for us. Amanda, if you wouldn't mind, since you are one of our saber soldiers, we could have you come over here to light up the way. Oh my gosh, you guys. We're still being surprised by rocks, even in the grasslands. Will the madness never end? We really need to figure out which one of our deities is setting up these traps. I guess it would probably be the Bandit Brothers, since they're the most mischievous of the bunch. Now, I wanted to bring Amanda over here to knock down the acorns, but it looks like we might have a leech eyeing up our nest already, so maybe you two should stay there with your 2 turns. Honestly, if we just move some of our creatures over here, we should be able to scoop it up. In fact, Dukareem, you might be able to grab this shell for us. Oh, the leech is wise to our ways. Maybe you'll have to go to the tide pools then. I feel like he would be one of the first to just set off on his own. He's still not thoroughly convinced that he belongs here, since that was just how he was raised. He doesn't really know what it's like to have a family that cares to have you around. So despite Belle's wishes, I think he's going to try to slink off to the water. Maybe we'll even see if he can find some fish along the stream, because this seems like it would be a pretty good fishing area for him. Of course, the Dewdrop is going to stay right here by the nest too, right between both of them, so he can tell the babies all his stories. I bet he's super excited. And does he have any roots in the area that he could dig up? Well, no roots, but it looks like Dukareem might actually have a berry bush over there. Though that being said, I think it's actually a poison berry bush. Right? The curved leaves are for the poison berry bushes, so it's not really something that we're going to want to pick up. I guess we could also send some other creatures out that way too. I want Snowshoe to stay in the area since he's also part of the soldiers. But I guess the twins and Sapphire could do some more exploring. Maybe they could even check out their very first palm tree. We could have them come over here to see if they could knock down some coconuts. I mean, with those giant horns that they have, surely that's going to help them. Thunder has the hammer tail, so he's the one who can crack them open. I guess we'll bring him up here first. And that leech is still evading us. I'm afraid that if I stop watching it, it's going to attach to one of our creatures. Like, I know the moment we go away, that's when it's going to make its grand move. Well, if we have you guys light up the way for Thunder, we should be able to pick up a little bit more food. I guess we'll have to settle him down right next to the coconut tree. Oh, we have a leech in here too. Oh no, Dukareem. I think that one is going to get to you. I think Sapphire would probably notice though. Maybe we could have her lunge over here and swipe up that leech before it hits him. He would probably be very surprised to see somebody come to his aid like that. I mean, Sapphire doesn't really know the stories of Anarim. That probably has something to do with it. She wouldn't suspect him one bit, but she seems like a pretty kind-hearted soul anyways, so nobody's getting hurt under her watch. Now, Snowshoe, we learned in the last episode that you actually have quite the love for shells. And since we have so many shells down here in the water, maybe we could actually have you gobble up one of these water-healing plants. Oh jeez, I didn't want to move you back there. Well, that's okay. We'll have him dive into the water on the next turn, and we'll see if he can scoop up some of those shells for the babies. I'm sure that Belle would be very, very appreciative of that. And yeah, the leech is still just pacing the shores. It is the most cautious leech I have ever seen in this game. So I guess we might as well just collect the acorns with their last 2 turns. Now let's head straight back to Belle, and we'll see what her very last baby is going to look like. This is going to be our leader's final heir, I suppose. Though it looks like unfortunately she does not have the heat body. She only has a spiky body, just like her big sister. She is super cute though. She actually looks like a little fox. Oh my gosh, and I love that only one of her paws is white. That is adorable. She looks like an elephant fox, mind you. She doesn't exactly have the snout for it, but she's gotta be one of the cutest little digging trunks I've ever seen. The next name on my list is Lolly, so welcome to our tribe, little one. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun exploring with your big sister. Maybe she could even take her under her wing? Oh my gosh! How did I not see this? Oh, that was terrifying. I looked behind the baby and I just saw these giant teeth looming behind our poor twins. Unfortunately, it's just a bearyena, so no little babies for you guys to take in. But thank goodness you have those giant horns, because it looks like you're going to need them. Well, before we get started with that battle, let's go over here and see what this baby looks like too. Oh, she is super cute. She looks so much like her mother, and at least she has the heat body and her inactive traits. So we might not have it in our tribe yet, but it's still lingering. Melody isn't giving up on us. Your name will be Tara. Welcome to our tribe too. And now let's very quickly scoot on back here, because it looks like we're going to have to call some more warriors in to protect you. I'm not sure that they're going to be able to take down the bearyena all by themselves, though I suppose they could try. It has 14 days remaining, so if you guys just overwhelm it, use every last one of your turns to hit it as hard as you possibly can. And do not tell me that that was the leech. Oh my gosh, what did I tell you guys? It was waiting for us to be distracted. It looks like it got to the baby? Oh, poor little Tara. What a way for you to be introduced to the world. Well, your mother is going to watch out for you, don't you worry. Let's have her pick up some of those acorns too. In fact, if you wouldn't mind hanging around for a little while longer, Amanda, maybe we could have Hydra come over here to pick up even more for her baby. I wish we had a way for Dewdrop to do that too, but he doesn't have the hammer tail. I mean, we were always a little bit leery to put the hammer tail on our creatures in the mountains, because it does affect their cold resistance. But when we're not in the cold weather, it is super, super helpful. Maybe we'll have to try to breed that onto our tribe more. But yeah, go ahead and use that final turn to swipe at the bearyena. Now he only has 5 days remaining. Well, Thunder, 2 of your turns ought to do the trick. So there we go. The twins are actually much, much stronger than we took them for. We'll have to have somebody else come over here to pick up the meat though. And I guess it's going to have to be you, Sapphire. Geez, you guys thought you were coming over here to gather up some big coconut feast, and it turns out there were bearyenas lurking in these parts instead. I mean, that is a little bit nerve-wracking. I wonder how many other bearyenas we're going to find out here. That was awfully quick to see one spawn. Well, it just makes things a little bit more exciting, I guess. I'm sure that our ancient legends can handle it. Now, Dukerim, it looks like you actually have another little shell to gather here, and then we're going to have you scoot on up to dry solid land. Yes, because we do have some clown koi in the water. Alright, so it looks like you'll have some food to collect after all. Let's have Sapphire pick up some of the grass around her with her 1 extra turn, and then let's set up Snowshoe for his job too. So yeah, he would probably be better off just staying by the trees, but he is much, much more interested in these shells. You'll have to be careful though. It looks like the piranha are pretty much glued to you, so if you happen to find a leech down there, you might be in a little bit of trouble. He's not the best at swimming, but I'm sure he'll be able to get by. There we go, there's one of those normal berry bushes back there. I guess we could always have Dewdrop go over in that direction. He could pick some of the berries for the babies. Again, it's not his favorite task. He would love it if he could find some roots to dig up. He could even teach little babies how to dig just like his mother did for him. Just like his mother did for all of the babies. Lolly would be great at digging up roots. Oh, and she even had the swimming tail. If not for that spiky body, maybe she would have been the type to go diving into the water with Snowshoe. I guess she'll probably be a bit more interested in learning from Dewdrop than we thought. She does have the running leg and the velvet paw too, so she would actually be pretty good at collecting all of those berries. She'd be even better than her mentor. Now go ahead and pack away that nest for us, Amanda. You know, the one good thing about this island is that we are going to have tons and tons of nesting material when everything is said and done. As long as we pick up every last bit of grass that we see, we should have enough to keep our families sustained once we do make it back to the mountains. Belle is so close to the end of her lifespan. I think we're probably just going to have her stay here with her baby. She's probably feeling a little bit too weak and tired to really go exploring, so she's just going to have to leave that to her daughters. We'll leave Ivory here too to pick up the grass like she did before. That way we can just make sure the baby is safe. I mean, after all of that commotion they saw across the tide pools, they don't want to take any chances. I'm kind of torn too. Like, do we want to send our creatures toward the savannas, or should we have them steer clear? The hot savanna heat would definitely be a little bit too much on our ancient legends. I mean, if you think about it with those big bodies, and just the fact that they're not at all accustomed to this hot weather, that would be like instant death for them. But at the same time, knowing Melody's backstory, maybe Belle is curious if that's what it's going to take. I mean, if we could find a good mate for Ivory, since she has a heat body too, maybe that would be our way of finally bringing it into our tribe. While school is just about in session for these little babies, I guess Tara is actually getting an early start. We'll have Hydra go ahead and crack open every last one of these delicious coconuts, so her baby will know how to do so too. It would be nice if maybe we could scoot Tara closer to Dewdrop. We'll have Amanda scoot over here, and then Tara can follow. That way she can sit down right next to her mother too. The two of them can spend some good time together. I'm sure that Dewdrop would be willing to spare a few of those extra little berries as well. Maybe he's even going to give them straight to Hydra. I wonder if he's hoping to start a little family of his own, and I'm sure seeing her motherly ways, she makes a very good mother, would give him reason to look her way. His mother, Skitty, never did get the chance to have a big family. She mostly just took care of all of the other kids. So I feel like he would want to change that. He doesn't want his family to fall under the same sort of curse. He wants a nice big family too. Now we'd best bring Snowshoe out of the water. I don't think there are any more shells down here for him to collect. And his leader is just about to pass away, so I feel like it would be a good idea for him to stand right by her side. We could even have him crack open this very last acorn. He could offer it up to the baby. And then as for you, Ivory, you might as well settle down right here as well. That way you can be right next to your little sister when she passes. Dukareem, have you found any more fish out here? All has been quiet in your stream. I feel like he's actually a little bit reluctant to leave these parts. He's probably just been gazing across the tide pools, watching the families as all of their children are born. It must actually make him quite jealous, like a feeling that he just can't describe, a longing that he never truly had until this moment. So as he slinks into the shadows to ponder that, maybe we'll have Sapphire do the same. Of course, I'm sure she's just nosing around here for more of those bearyenas, but she does have those tasty roots off in the distance, so maybe she would go in this direction. And it seems as though these two are fated to cross paths once again. I'm sure that Dukareem is going to go after the moles, but with so many roots out here, it's only a matter of time before the two bump straight into each other. Thunder has different plans. We'll have his brother light up the way so we can pick up even more coconuts. Oh, it looks like there's only one here? Well then, you better use those massive horns to knock some more down. Do you think maybe Pip would be willing to sacrifice his energy? Like, I know we're going to be setting him up right underneath the tree, but the Crabbits seem to agree. Our plan is Crabbit approved. Let's see if poor little Pip is going to end up with a headache tomorrow. I'd say there's probably a pretty good chance. Like, something tells me this is just another trap the Crabbits have set up for us. Let's see, little Pip. Yep, there you go. You poor, poor thing. Dazed underneath the coconut tree. Of course, I do think that's because Thunder picked up the coconut that was under his feet. Maybe if he went over here instead, it would be easier for him to gather without putting his own brother in danger. Oh my gosh, and you have tons of shells too? No wonder the Crabbits are watching. They know that their treasures are under attack. And there's Belle's remains right in between her two remaining daughters. So I guess what we could do, since Ivory was the second in command, since she was the heir to the family, we'll actually give her the official alpha rank. She is now the one who's going to lead at least this side of the family, hopefully closer to their goal. We'll see if we can bring them all the way to these ports. I know it's going to take us to an easier island, but since our only other options are just more savannas, at least that's what it looks like from here. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea for us to bring our tribe to, so we should probably just stick with the grasslands. We'll probably have to do some really quick island hopping as soon as we get there. We have the food to keep us alive after all. So as we have Sapphire go ahead and dig up her roots, maybe sniff around for a couple more. She's probably smelling the one directly behind the mole by now, but we'll bring her up here first so she can grab this one instead. That should give Dukareem just enough time to jump in and grab the mole himself. That way she won't have to worry about scaring it off. Oh, and maybe she could even tell him that she's found some bunnies hopping around here too. They might be looking to munch on their berries after all, so if Dukareem doesn't want to lose his to the bunny army, then he's going to have to move very, very quickly. Alright, so I think we're actually going to start this family between Hydra and Dewdrop. Hydra's mutation menu should be taken care of already, I believe, since she did have her babies before. But as far as Dewdrop goes, yeah, he's the one with the bearyena snout in his genetics. So it's a good thing that we're getting started on his family now before it's too late. You know, if we did find a friendly bearyena, I guess it would be much, much easier for us to pass the bearyena snout onto our babies, as long as they have a female baby with the bearyena snout in her genetics at least. So go ahead and breed with a Dewdrop, while you set down your nest and gather up the coconuts. And then school is officially in session. So let's have Tara take on her second gem, and then we could scoot her all the way over here, so she should be able to gather up all of these delicious berries for us. We'll have Dewdrop finish off the berry bush to show her how it's done, and then it's going to be time for you to join them too. I feel like Wally would be a little bit more reluctant. I mean, she just lost her mother. She probably really just wants to stay with her big sister. But Ivory knows how important it is for her to get a good education here. So we're gonna push her off, so hopefully she can pick up some of those berries too. She was a little bit too late to join in today, but we'll have her pick the berries tomorrow. And I guess Ivory could probably watch on from afar, like behind the tree trunk, so she doesn't even know she's watching. She's probably just as reluctant to leave her mother's remains here. In fact, I wonder if our soldiers could maybe find a good place to bury her. They both do have the digging paws, so if we could only find a root. Yeah, let's have these two go off in this direction. We'll see what they can find over here. If we leave the smelling vision on. Oh, there's actually a stump. Ooh, excellent. Maybe we can use that to our advantage. We'll have Snowshoe, or possibly Amanda, try to call out on the next turn, because it looks like Snowshoe may have scouted out some of those delicious shells. There's no way that he's going to leave with those there. There's no way he's going to let anybody else steal them from under his toes. So let's go ahead and see what Hydra's next baby is going to look like. I'm sure this is quite nice for her. I mean, at the very least, this is helping her move on from Tusk. I swear I just heard a bearyena. Yes, I did. Oh, Sapphire, not you too? And this time the bearyena is next to one of the rogues. Oh, this is quite interesting. Has the bearyena perhaps joined forces with the rogues on this island? Or is she just taking advantage of the situation? She might just be here amid the chaos to steal all of our berries, because I do see that big berry paw. Alright, well, Dukarim, you're going to have to get a closer look at the situation. I mean, this might be a good chance for him to repay Sapphire. We know from the mountains that he does actually have quite a big heart. He was the one who ended up saving Fern, after all, when she was frozen in the snow. And he has been thinking about this strange creature ever since, so I don't think there's any better time for us to have them run into each other. And you're quite the interesting individual. Little Corey, she has the big body, so she might actually be a good one for us to breed into our tribe. She also has a scorpion tail. If we could pull that into our genetics, we'd have a way to pick from the poison berry bushes. Very, very interesting, but not exactly what we're going for right now. Like, Dukarim does not strike me as the kind of creature who would easily give up his food, so he's not going to be the one to invite her. Instead, let's have him lunge in here. That way he should be able to land a few good attacks on this bearyena. We'll have him try his best to save her. Actually, Sapphire, you might be able to take out the bearyena with your remaining turns. There we go, so side by side, these two warriors have conquered yet another foe. He'd probably try to brush it off as best as he could. You know, he's just repaying the favor. No need to thank him. After all, it's not like it means anything, right? He just couldn't live with himself after she saved him from that leech. Now his own mind can rest easy. Surely there's no other reason why he's so taken by that mysterious digging trunk. This baby is awfully cute, though. Yes, and he does have the bearyena snout, so it lives on for another day. Honestly, like, maybe this is actually Bearyena Island. We thought this was Melody's Island, but I'm starting to think we may have been wrong. That wandering creature is still in the darkness, too. It looks like she's actually not too interested in following our other tribe mates. She's just hanging around here, picking from all of our berry bushes. Maybe we should have Thunder try to investigate? I'm a little bit worried that she's going to come by and steal our big pile of meat. And I mean, if she does that, then she is fair game. Our ancient legends are not going to stand for a food thief. I just don't think that Thunder would want to leave Pip here all alone, especially because it's kind of his fault that he was hit by the coconuts. So we'll have him wait for just one more day right by his side. And are you still poking around our berry bush? It looks like she is, thank goodness. In fact, I think she might be distracted by this root in the ground, so maybe we'll be safe after all. Our meat gets to live on for one more day. Let's go ahead and name this little baby too before we end up forgetting again. The next name on my list is actually Croissant. Oh, that is adorable. Welcome to our tribe, little one. I love that spiky body. The colors just all blend together so well. I'm glad we started a family between these two. They're making some pretty nice babies. Now, timid little Lolly, go ahead and stick that one socked paw in and grab up some of those berries. It actually looks like we might have a bit of a drought taking place. Hopefully the rains will come soon then. I think we do see quite a bit of rain on this island. Sometimes it's a bit more scarce on others, but we should be able to replenish our food supplies before long. Maybe she would point that out to Dewdrop. We'll have her pick up the grass so we can see a bit more clearly. This is all news to him after all. It's not as though they've ever seen a berry bush before. We'll have them breed again too, since Hydra is getting a little bit old. And Ivory must be proud to see that her little sister is doing so well in school. Maybe we'll even have her knock down some more of the acorns so the rest of our cracker jaws can collect them. And then I suppose it might be time for you to do some exploring too. We don't want her mother getting all of the attention and glory after all. Ivory has a pretty big name to live up to. Now I wonder if calling on the stump would actually call this wandering creature over here to the other tribe? I wonder if it would be her or if it would be somebody new. It actually looks like your shelves may have been swept away as well, so I guess you could probably do the singing for us. We'll have you do 2 calls, just to see if you attract any wanderers. Though unfortunately she's not interested. Maybe she's just too taken by the berries, or maybe she's smitten with somebody else. But I guess you should probably hop down to give your sister a chance. We'll have Amanda climb up on top. Oh, I didn't realize that she was getting so old. Oh, that's sad. She's about to pass away too. She's actually the very same age as Hydra. I wish she had the chance to have a baby though. It's kind of sad that our soldiers are going to die off. Well, I guess there's still one more day. Like maybe if we're really, really lucky, she'll be able to call a mate to her side before she passes. But one last time, let's skip the turn so we can see what Hydra's next little baby is going to look like. I'm sure just as cute as her brother. Oh, she has the mask. Interestingly enough though, she doesn't have the trident on her chest, so it's a little bit different from her mother. Though to be honest, she kind of looks like a badger maybe. She is super cute, and I love to see those giant horns on her too. She'll be able to keep all of her family quite safe. So the next name on my list is Magic. Welcome to our tribe, little one. We've had quite a few babies born in this episode, and I'm sure this entire new generation is going to be an interesting one to follow. They're going where their family has never been before. And Pip is finally awake. Oh, you poor, poor thing. Thank goodness you only took 1 day's worth of damage. Ah, and you even found that dead clown koi in the water? Well, go ahead and scoop that up as your reward. You definitely deserve some nice good food after all that time under the tree. So in the next episode, we'll have to see what that wanderer is up to. Maybe we'll see if Pip and Thunder can invite her, or if she would even be interested in joining our tribe. And likewise, we'll have to see how the relationship develops between Duke and Sapphire, because despite what Duke Kareem says, I think there's a lot of potential for their story. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!